He was from a long time ago. He keeps his long hair clean. He plays in a huge castle. He was friendly and he had lots of friends. He hasn't had a chance to wash his hair. He's friendly and he plays with his friend. He has strong arms. He dreams about flying. Strong but he eats healthy things. He's strong and he eats healthy things. He has hair as long as a rock star. His mum tells him to eat all his food. He's strong because he eats loads of healthy things. He's kind and adventurous. He's kind and he helps people. He's kind and he helps people. He plays games with hide and seek. He lives in a big house. He races and he's very fast.
Here inside of his small palm tree wooden hut, the noisy silver alarm clock woke him up. He had to pull his long curly hair away from his eyes. It was a noisy alarm clock. But he was pleased. He was here on this square island. The square island in the middle of the sea that was surrounded by sharks and snapping crocodiles. He had jumped out of an aeroplane to get to this place. He wanted to fight sharks. He remembered just before he had jumped out of the aeroplane, he had had a meal of spicy sausages. He loved spicy sausages. But he was surrounded by sharks, and he'd come here for a purpose, because he wanted to fight the sharks. But as he came closer to the shore, he found himself starting to sink into the hot quicksand. He was sinking further and deeper, and now the short red cloak that was around his shoulder was drenched in the thick, oily sand. And as if from nowhere, quicker than a wink or a blink of an eye, he saw that there was a giant Japanese woman with short, curly hair. On her feet she had huge, steel, hard boots, and she started to stamp this way and that amongst all of the sharks and all of the crocodiles, and their sharp, zigzag teeth were being broken on the sand. But the crocodiles were too quick for her. They were coming and they were starting to snap at the laces that held the boots onto her feet, and now the two of them were starting to sink into the slippery quicksand. They couldn't believe it. They heard a tsk, 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 coming out of the sky, and there they could see a strong little red Welsh dragon. He wondered if he was ever going to be able to stand on hard ground again. But this woman was now up to her knees, up to her legs in the quicksand, and he was up to his neck in the quicksand. But with its two-fingered claws, the small red Welsh dragon grabbed them from out of the quicksand and pulled them high into the air and flew with the two of them. And it seemed to get stronger as it went higher. It was saving the man and the woman. But it started to become weak. It started to become faint. It started to become so that it lost all of its strength. It released its fingers and the woman plummeted down into the water. And the man slipped out from its two-fingered claws and he fell into the water. They were strong swimmers. But that small, strong, red Welsh dragon had lost all of its strength and fluttered and fell back down into the square island, and it could never leave that place. The man was sad. He knew that he would never see the dragon again. The woman stamped away with her bare feet, and our hero, for that's what he was, never saw her again either. The sea was filled with sharks. No one would ever go there to that place. They found it too frightening. It was really dangerous. The island was square and rough, but on its shores it had slippery, squidgy seaweed. It was an island that was covered with seaweed. There were nasty, snappy alligators all around, but in the middle of the island there were tall green palm trees. The sharks in the sea could go onto the beach, and he was inside of a wide palm tree wooden house at the edge of the shark-filled sea.
On the airplane, I made him jump off, and I made an imaginary world with pink coconuts and a pink palm tree house. When the pilot flies over the island, and the man jumps off because he wants to fight the sharks and the snappy crocodiles. He jumped off an aeroplane and he landed on top of the square icy island, and he slipped into the river and he ran out before the sharks got him to eat.
He jumped out of the aeroplane and he fell in the sea full with crocodiles, alligators.
There was 10 suns, a dragon that breathed fire and you couldn't see him, sharks that could actually go on the island, and palm trees that you could get coconuts off. The shark and the whale were playing tag with the crocodile. He jumped out the airplane because he wanted to, because there was nothing else he could do, because the airplane needed to get somewhere else and he didn't have enough time to stop. He was surrounded by grey, horrible sharks and crocodiles. Once upon a time there lived a man, and he had a silver clock to wake him up. There was this man, he was in an aeroplane, he jumped out the aeroplane on a very boiling hot island. He wanted to fight the sharks. Because he wanted to. Once upon a time there lived a big, strong, fearless man. He loved to fight crocodiles and sharks. The giant woman is at the hot, sunny beach. The giant woman had hard metal boots. The big, giant Japanese woman went into the cold sea. The big, giant Japanese woman went into the cold sea.
Japanese woman wearing huge boots, one blue and one green, was trying to save the strong man.
He was sinking slowly down into the slippery quicksand. The Japanese woman had big feet. She stamped on the crocodiles and sharks, and the Japanese woman tried to stamp on the crocodiles, but they kept coming on the island. He was meeting into the quicksand. The lady came, she stepped on the sharks. They ran, but then the lady said, "Look out." Then the sharks bited her shoes. The giant woman standing on the shark and the crocodile. When the worried man was sinking in the slippery wet quicksand, a giant Japanese woman with hard steel boots came to save him. The Japanese woman was trying to save the man, but the crocodiles were eating her boots. There was a Japanese woman on the land, and the man got stuck in the sinking sand. There was a Japanese woman, and the man was getting stuck in the quicksand, and the woman helped him. The shark and the crocodile were playing tag. Well, the man was getting stuck in the quicksand. It was jungle quicksand, and then a giant Japanese woman came and stamped on the shark and the crocodile. The crocodiles were getting nearer and nearer to the man. The Japanese woman tried to help the man. The man was shrieking and he was scared, so he shouted help. There was a sword with stars on. They were both sinking, and the sharks were coming nearer and nearer, and this little red Welsh dragon came to save them. The man and the woman got stuck in the sinking sand, and the crocodiles and sharks were coming nearer and nearer, and the little Welsh dragon came and pulled them out of the sinking sand. The Welsh dragon fainted and got left on the island by himself because the giant woman and the little man had swum away. The man and the woman sank in the sand, but the dragon was really strong and pulled them up, but then fell down and fainted, so the man and the giant woman swam away, but the shark and the crocodile didn't catch them. Suddenly of all they saw, the man and the woman saw a strong little Welsh dragon flying down to help them. The dragon lost its strength. The dragon lost all its strength and it couldn't fly, so it just had to stay on the island. Red little dragon had to stay on the square island. The people went on the dragon, then the dragon fainted and they jumped off and fell into the water. the dragon, they were stuck in a quicksand, so the dragon came down and then picked them up, and then they were so heavy, so it lost its strength, and it fell in the sea. We had to have some palm trees, and we had to put a dragon in there.
He's a pale-faced man with his mum's eyes.
He's a brave and fearless warrior who stands still and straight. He has a kind smile and a cute, friendly blue eyes. He likes to daydream about forests. He likes the sound of the crunching and the smell of heat. He also dreams about cooking, and he finds potatoes. In the wood, the man tripped over a log. He had to put cold water on his head. When he felt better, he went to his cave. He ate yummy beans for tea. He went safely home. I think he's kind. He likes to play football. He's scared of sharks. He loves to play football. He's still got 2 baby teeth. He's lost 2 teeth. He was bullied at school. In his pocket he had a hammer and a spanner and a lollipop.
With his bright blue eyes, he looked out of his crumbling grey-bricked little cottage. It was here in the middle of a forest that was filled with prickle-bearing trees. There were dead robins in amongst all of the branches. But he had travelled all of the way to come to this place to come and find what was his. It was a long, shiny, hard metal rope. The bricks of this cottage were rough and horrible. The ground was slippery, and he knew that there was a terrible wooden troll's bridge. There was a wolf that lived underneath with blood-stained teeth. What he didn't know was that the wolf had taken a bone hammer to push that golden rope that belonged to him into the rough, hard bricks and make sure that it was a trap. The wolf wanted to eat the man, and it had lain that golden rope as a trap. Underneath the slippery, icy wooden troll's bridge, the wolf was there, lifting his sharp claws, ready to pounce upon the man. But as the man pulled his hair away with his thin fingers, he saw that there was a bird flying in the air, and in its beak it had some disgusting poisonous berries. And it didn't wait for a second, it threw them straight into the wolf's eyes. The wolf, who was ready to pounce, slipped into the rippling cold blue water of the river and screamed, "Help me! Help me!" as it clawed at the air. There was a helpful, happy fireman who wanted to help this wolf, for he loved animals, and he reached down with his long yellow gloves to pull the wolf out. But the man, the hero, he said first, "Wolf, you must promise me that you will not try and eat me or anyone else." The wolf, who thought that it was going to drown in the river, promised that it would not eat him or anyone else. The The hero's short, old blue trousers were starting to get dirty as he and the fireman used the rope to try and pull the wolf out of the water. The wolf stood there, its fur matted to its skin. Gasping for breath, the man knew that it had promised and spoke to the wolf and said this: "I think that what you need to do is clear this forest. And you need to make sure you get rid of the disgusting poisonous berries. And you can use the rope and use your bone hammer to do it. Sometimes if you go past that forest, you might see the footsteps of a hero. The footprints of his round buckled shoes in the thick slimy mud. But you might also see a wolf cutting at the trees and the bushes with a smooth bone hammer." Even though it was spring, it was as dark as a locked cupboard with no key in the middle of this forest. Everyone knew that there was an angry wolf with small, sharp, blood-stained teeth that used to prowl around. All around him there were hard, rough, horrible bent trees, and in the distance he could see that there were raspberry bushes. The berries looked sweet, but when he tasted them, they were terrible. Up and in amongst the boughs and the branches, he could see small dead robins in the smooth trees. On the ground, there were soft, dead brown leaves in amongst all of the mud.
The wolf smashed the rope into the house window. He's trying to go on the roof and he's trying to smash the bricks, the rough hard ones with bricks. The wolf was trying to attack the angry man. The wolf is carrying the smooth, broken bones on his back. The man was so good. When he stepped into the long metal golden trap, he went into the trees. The sad wolf didn't have any friends. The hungry wolf wanted a hammer. The wolf was smashing with his bone on. The wolf is going to go and get the rope. The man's gonna get the rope. The wolf is jumping from the cottage to the house to smash the house down.
Poor wolf wanted to eat the man.
The man walked across the bridge, but he slipped because the bridge was slippy and he hurt his leg. There was once a man who lived in a brick cottage.
The man walked so far he saw a strange metal rope. It was gold, and the man realized that the wolf had used a bone for a hammer.
Wants to eat the man.
The man saw a bridge and he saw a wolf under the bridge, and he didn't go past the bridge because he knew the wolf was trying to trap him.
A man was walking over a closed bridge and he saw a wolf underneath it. The bird sitting in a tree. The bird saw a wolf trying to trap a man. Black feathery crow was flying in the sky with a beak full of horrible poisonous berries. The wolf was lifting up his claws, ready to pounce on the man.
A bird was whistling in the cold, spooky forest, and the man got very scared, and he didn't realize that the wolf was waiting angrily under the icy bridge, and a massive feathery blackbird with a massive beak full of disgusting poisonous berries, and he spat them at the wolf's eyes.
A feathery black scary crow was flying in the sky with a beak full of disgusting. One day there was a bird sitting in the tree. The bird saw the wolf. There was a bird who flew and put horrible poisonous berries into the wolf's eyes. The bird woke up and heard the wolf getting ready to jump on top of the man, but the bird threw poisonous berries at the wolf's eyes. There was a bird. He lived in a tree, and he eat slugs and worms, and he eat dangerous, horrible berries. The bird was grabbing handfuls of disgusting poisonous berries on the wolf's eyeballs, and the wolf was getting angry. The bird has eaten the poisonous berries, and the bird put sugar in the wolf's eyeballs. The wolf is following us all around in the house and upstairs, and he scared me. The bird got some berries and threw a pile of berries into the wolf's eye. The bird threw disgusting poisonous berries into the wolf's eye. And the bird was in the dark tree. It had disgusting poison berries. It threw them into the wolf's eyes. The wolf was standing under the trees. The bird was in the poisonous trees. He was throwing poisonous berries, and the wolf ran away like as fast as a Ferrari, and he slipped. And he slipped into the very cold blue water. The wolf fell in the water, and the fire engines rescued the wolf. And when the wolf was talking, so the dicey cold bridge, but he fell down inside the water. Poor fireman, and and he helped the wolf. The wolf went into the water, then the help from firemen and the hero helped them get out with the golden rope. The wolf fell in the water. He slipped. The wolf fell in the water and the fireman got that rope in there, and the hero said, I want to help in. The hero and then the helpful fireman went to put the rope in, and then the wolf climbed up and he said, no. And then the fireman said, no, I won't. And then the fireman said, no, you said you'll promise. And then the hero said, you not eating anyone again, don't eat me. They became friends again. The wolf went in the freezing cold water, and his friendly fireman pulled him out of the water. They were not friends, and then they were friends. The fireman and the superhero were trying. They got the rope and they were helping the wolf and they make friends. The fireman and the hero pulls out the wolf from the river. The hero pulls the wolf out of the water with the hard, shiny golden rope. They cleared the forest. The people saved them from the rippling water, and then they made a promise that you wouldn't eat anyone, and then they helped them chop down all the trees and get rid of the berries. Fireman and the hero rescued the wolf. The fireman saved the wolf. The man got the wolf out with a golden rope. The wolf was stuck in the water, and the hero was the fire agent. The man said, shall I help you to get out the water? Then the wolf said yes, but the fire agent man said, well, promise you won't eat me. Then the wolf said yes, then I'll save you. Then he chucked a rope there, then it was pulling the rope, saving the wolf. After that, the wolf said, why don't you pick some berries? And the wolf said, that is a good idea. The wolf started pulling down trees and took the berries away. The hero came and looked down and said to the fireman, I will help you to pull the fox out the water. The hero saw a fireman and the hero said to the fireman, go and get the rope, and he did, and they threw down the rope, and then the hero said, will you not eat me or anyone else? And the wolf said yes. Then the fireman and the hero pulled them up. So the wolf took the golden rope and took all the poisonous berries down and cut off the trees. Healthy lollipops make them stronger. He's got his school uniform under his top because he forgot to take it off. It got too tight to take off. He had 2 baby teeth and 2 grown-up teeth. I like him. He looks like a woman. He's got a buckle on his shoes. He's kind man. Long hair. He is a good man. A red cloak. In the forest. Scary one. Stone gun. He's inside the forest. He's in the forest and he's hiding in the sky. Because he's so tall.
After having danced for everybody so that everyone could see how much he loved Egyptian music, he decided that he would travel. Our hero was a good man. He had a thin, red-lipped smile upon his face, and he didn't care that there was a tall grey cloud in the sky above this castle. It was a huge castle with a square top. But he could see in the window the princess dressed all in pink and surrounded by knights with shining helmets upon their heads. But outside of the castle there was an angry old man. It was the king. The knights had thrown him out, and his daughter, the princess, was trapped inside of the castle. This man who loved to dance, this hero, knew that he would have to try and help, and as the king jogged up and down and moved his arms, a thin golden key that was hanging around his neck fell down onto the ground, and the hero picked it up and he held it in his hand. He spoke. His voice was deep. Where does this open? Which door does it open? The king pulled at his long white beard and pushed his white moustache away from his cheeks and said, "It opens a tall brown door on the right-hand side of the castle that leads to the dungeons where there are dark cages, and in one of the cages there is a bear." The hero looked and said, "A bear? Well, perhaps I could let this bear out, and if I were to dress him up, then he would look like one of the knights, and perhaps he would fight for us." And sure enough, the hero went to the right-hand side of the castle where there was a tall brown wooden door, and he opened it up with a golden key, and it creaked open, and down into the darkness of the castle he went, and he unlocked the bear. The bear at first was angry, but when it realised that it had a chance to get out of the dungeon and fight those knights that had locked it up, it quite readily put on a shining steel helmet and a breastplate and put on armour, and now it just looked like a very big shining knight. The hero watched as the bear lumbered out with its great sword in its hand, and it started to fight all of the knights, but there were too many of them. The princess shouted loud and long out of the castle window. A tree, a magical tree, suddenly sprang up, and on its roots it started to chase after all of the knights. The king ran this way and that, and he watched the bear, and he smiled, and he danced to think that he was going to get his castle back. And he ran after the tree, but the tree with its great prickled arms moved this way and that, and the king had to lie himself down at the base of the tree when all of the knights were chased away. The princess was pleased to be let out of the castle, and when she went over to her father, she looked and she saw that he had died. All of the excitement was too much for him, and he died. The hero tucked his fingers into his soft silk belt at the top of his old blue trousers. The king had been kind and the king had been helpful, and now he had set his daughter the princess free. The hero walked away knowing that she would become a queen, and the very best queen in this land. But the hero couldn't stop himself. He couldn't smile.
The hero wants to save the princess. The man wants to save the princess. The man went to save the princess on the horse. The horse is very fast. The princess is stuck inside the castle. He went through the forest with the trees.
He had glasses, and the castle was a trap. It was filled with snakes and cages.
The man on the horse went to get the princess, but the door was locked. The princess was locked in the tower. I like to save the people. He was a strange man. The old man was a good man. A man. Angry man. Old man. He was the king. He was the princess's dad. The princess was wearing a pink dress, and was a spotted horse. The castle had a princess. There was an old man, he was the king. There was a castle. The old man lived in the castle. A strong man. He is going to be really strong. He is very strong.
The man is riding on the horse, spotty horse.
The hero is going to save the princess, but the princess was locked in the castle. But the hero saves the princess, and the princess was scared of the bed. The man helped the princess, who was wearing pink, but she was locked in the castle, and the hero saved the princess. The bear is going to fight the knight. The kind princess was locked in the dark castle. The superhero, the princess, and the king was locked out in the dark. Was the marry the princess, marry the superhero. The pig princess was frightened of the bear, and the princess is trapped in the castle. The princess is kinda helpful. The bear is trying to eat the knight. The hero found the key on the ground. The bear is strong. The bear is strong. He is going to be strong, and he is going to be eating all his dinner. He is strong, and he's going to save the princess. He is strong and he's really good. The bear was dressed up as a knight. The king gave the hero a key. The hero let the bear out of the hall dungeon. The hero found the key to let the bear free. The hero set the bear free with the golden key. The bear is in the dungeon. He found the key and set him out. The bear was sad. The hero saved the bear. The bear was very tall and scary. Golden key to open the door. The man let the bear out. He got in shining armor. The tree and the bear chased the knight, and they were rushing, and the king died, and the princess was the queen. The princess is a queen. The tree chased the knight. The king died because the tree chased the tree, and the bear chased the knight. The tree and the bear chased the knight away. The king did die because the king was old. The princess is at the tree, started to chase the knight, and the king died, and the princess came the queen. The tree chased the king. The princess became the queen because the king died. The king died because the left princess and the queen. The tree chased after the king, and the died. The tree chased after the king. The bear chased the knight, and the tree stayed still and silent. And the king dies, and the princess is a queen. The tree chased after the knight with the bear, and the king was asleep, and he never woke up.
That was fantastic, right?
The tree chased after the knight, but the king died, so the princess became queen. The tree and bear and knight were played. The king was dead. The princess became queen. The princess was cooking something. The king died. The tree and the bear was chasing the knights, and the princess is a queen, and the princess was stuck in the castle. The king died. The princess turned into the queen.
So what did the tree do?
The tree chased the knights away. The king died, and the queen, and then the princess is the queen. The tree and the bear chased the knights away. Then the king died because he was very old, and then the princess became queen, and that was the sad ending of our story. But
all around him he could see the shiny helmets of the strong knights as they stood outside of the castle. He knew that inside of this terrible castle there were dark black dungeons that were filled with hard golden cages. The castle was made of shiny, fat, heavy bricks. It was a tall, rectangular castle. There was a small pattern of squares at the top. The castle was stood in the middle of long, thin, golden grass. There was an old rusty clock at the top of the castle, and in one of the windows he could see a kind, long-haired princess, dressed all in pink.
He's got school shoes because he goes to school. He comes from an old-fashioned time. He likes to eat. He lives in the castle. He goes into the forest to collect wood. Everybody thinks he looks scary. Hey, hi, Garrett. His job is to build castles. He's got large shoes and smiley feet. A big man with a yellow shirt. Walk slowly, go fast. Scary. He looks like a witch. Scary, but friendly. He's a nice person, but you don't expect him to help people, and he does. He is friendly and looks happy. He's friendly and he has no friends. He's got long curly hair. He's helpful. He likes sport and likes to dance. He's got round buckled shoes. He's got a soft shirt. He likes climbing mountains, rocky mountains. He's got long curly hair. He's kind. Has a greedy smile because he is always hungry. He is good at telling spooky stories. He has strong arms. He keeps fit by jumping and running.
He knew that eating food was necessary if you wanted to play football, and he loved playing football. He was a hero who didn't carry a name. Now, as he was walking amongst the mountains, the jagged zigzag mountains, by the small village that was filled with the rusty caravans, inside of the fish and chip shop, there was a smell of boiled beans in the air. The fish and chip shop sold purple bitter fish. It also sold sweet shrimps, but he was there to get some fish and chips because, having played football with his friend Francis, he wanted to have something to eat. But as he was going along the road, by the side of the road there was a river, a dirty river, and in the river he could see that there was a fish, a green fish. Now, this fish suddenly raised its head from out of the water and said, "Hello. I do not like it inside of all of this dirty water." The hero was amazed and just a little bit embarrassed. But he rolled the sleeves up of his soft woolen shirt and took the fish out of the water and put it into a bucket and spoke. "Where do you live?" "I could walk," said the fish, "on my tail, but please take me further up the river and I will show you." With the water sloshing inside of the bucket, he went up the slippery rocks that led to the fish's home, right in the middle of the soft rock mountains, and up the slopes and into a scary cave. Inside of the cave, he found that there were some dirty, furry bears that were dancing, that were singing, they were having a bath, and that was what was making the water so dirty. He didn't know what he was going to be able to do to try and help the fish, but he scratched at his chin and he rubbed at his head and he pulled out a notebook and thought and started to write. The fish watched all of the time, and he thought that he would build a great fence, a smooth metal fence to keep the bears out, and he would be able to make a small, shiny, smooth metal bath for the bears to keep the river clean. And that's just what he did. He would find himself walking through the town past the fish and chip shop, and in the river he would see the fish in the clean water going, "Oh, thank you. Hello. We are very thankful for you because you made the river clean.
The green fish jumped up and said hello. He was walking on the mountains. He likes to save people. It was raining and the spotty moon was shining. He found a green talking fish. The man thought the fish was strange and he thought it was funny and he didn't know what was happening. He is walking on the mountain. He's talking to the fish. He is talking to the fish. Well, he said, ah! And then he just walked away and then he put the fish back in the fish and chip shop and he was cooked up and thrown back in the sea. And then he kicked them in the sea when he came out. He could talk and walk. The man was eating tasty fish. The fish wanted to go in the dirty pool than the clean pool. Better than the clean one. Because the dirty pool wasn't nice than the clean pool. He went in the fish and chip shop and he went to the caravans and he saw a fish. And the man was walking along. He saw a fish swimming in the sea. Then the fish said, "Please, will you get me out of here?" And then he says, "Okay." And then as soon as he got out, he started walking. The man was walking through the mountains. The man was looking for a talking fish. He went over a fish on the mountain. The green fish can talk. Is this talking green fish? A little fish can talk. The bears were having a bath. The man was carrying a fish up the mountain. He was carrying the green fish to his home. The fish like this. I love this in this mountain. The dirty fairy bears were having a long bath in the dirty water. "Can you help me?" pleaded the green fish. The man carried the fish up the soft rock mountain. The man was taking the fish to its house, but the bears caught him. The bears had a bath in a pool of green fish. He put the talking fish in the box. Man found a new river. He was eating these fish and chips. A fish jumped out of a dirty river. A man picked a fish up and he took the fish up the mountain. A man didn't know that the fish could talk. Was a rock, and there was a soft rock. There weren't some bears They went in a bath. The water smelled like the sewer.
He went to the fish and chip shops to get some shrimp.
The dirty furry bears went to the fish's house for a bath. He saw the green fish and he took out the soft red and he took it off the soft mountains. He was eating his fish and chips. The green fish, he took it up the soft green mountain.
The man was carrying the fish up the mountain. With this Livis mountain,
The man climbed a green fish up the mountain. He was climbing up the mountains to the fish's home. The man saw the bears. The bears were having a disco in the bath. He went to the fish home. The bears were washing themselves. But the river was dirty. Well, he helps the fish, and he saves his life. He puts the fish in the box and then he takes it home with him to build a new house. When he saves the people, he always puts them back to the places when he wants to. When they're in trouble, he's got to save them. He built a bath, and there was a fence. Well, he locks the bears in his home, and he builds another home for the fish. Take them to a new home. He keeps the bear out. He cleans the water. He builds a fence to bears so the bears can't keep out the water. He builds a fence so the bear can't get in the water, and he tells the bears off for doing that so the bears say sorry and clean the water. He builds a fence so shark. They don't come in. The fish was bad because they couldn't go in the water. He made them a bathtub. Well, it was some clean water. He made a wooden bath for the bears. Oh, shiny wooden bath. The fish come. Hello. Very happy. Then build all the bears. Fishes happy. So the man decided to build a shiny wooden bath. The man built a fence, metal fence. A man climbed up. The man's going shopping, food. The man keeps the bear out. I will be your best friend forever. When the man saves the fish, he puts the world back to normal.
And he wants to
He
good boy.
built a wooden bath for the bears. He made a bath.
He was a tall man, and his long curly hair hung right over his shoulders. When he looked at you with his smiling blue eyes, you would feel safe. His body was thin, but his arms were strong, and over his shoulders he had a short red ribbed cloak held in place by a small silver chain. His woolen shirt was clean and soft. He was brave and fearless and didn't mind going into the creepy woods. His idea of fun was to play guessing games or snakes and ladders with real snakes. After he'd eaten his favourite food of tasty round green beans, he would tuck his thin fingers into the brown and gold silk belt of his pants and dream of playing football with his friend Francis. He was a helpful man who loved to climb the Rocky Mountains. His old blue trousers barely kept him warm, but he remembered dancing to some Egyptian music in front of everyone at the concert. He loved to dance. Just for a moment, he kicked his crumpled leather shoes, and he could hear their metal buckles rattle. There was the strong, steamy smell of boiled beans in the air inside of this fish and chip shop. His fingers ran over the hard, bumpy, white, smooth tiles. He could hear the sound of the sea crashing against the open, soft, sandy beach that was covered with big, hard, round shells. In the distance, he could see the soft snow falling on the zigzagged mountains. The trees at the top were leafless, covered in ice, but there were some snow-covered pine trees. This was a fish and chip shop that only sold two kinds of fish. There were the strong-tasting purple bitter fish, or the sweet, thin shrimps. This was an empty village of rusty caravans, and he was standing there inside of the fish and chip shop.